Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we have a very special update, and that is because the stock market is doing disastrously bad. The S&P is down 3.5%, the Nasdaq is down 4%, and the Dow Jones is down about 3%. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. During my beginning of the research versus now, the stock market has actually gone on a little bit of a crazy trail. I mean, every single time I look back at it, it just goes down lower and lower and lower, except for the last, let's call it 10 minutes, because when I actually was doing the final pieces of preparation for this episode, the prices were doing even worse. Right now, it's recovered just a little bit. But generally speaking here, if you look over the month, the stock market has been doing horrendously, just extremely bad. And on this channel, guys, we like to look for connections. We like to look for the news and the juicier layers of that news. And what we found is that the connection between the stock market and cryptocurrencies is just ridiculously strong right now. Now, that is what I usually tell you. And that is honestly what I very firmly believe in. Today is a very strange day in that regard. Because even though Bitcoin and the stock market have been on a 100% correlation for a really little while right now. It's like been 1-to-1. It's been crazy. Today is actually not really a bad day for, holy smokes, look at that. We even got plus 4% on the hour. Holy smokes, guys, look at that. What a crazy recovery for crypto. Oh, holy smokes. That is, I'm actually a bit confused about this. What is going on here? 4% on the hour. I wanted to say that it's actually not showing signs of bearishness, which the stock market is showing. And the story that I wanted to kind of pull towards was that there's quite a lot of FUD and fake articles out there that are telling you it's also negative, when in reality, it's really not, and that we should seize the opportunity, even though we can fall down lower. But I'm a little bit at a loss for words because I did not expect a quick pump like this to happen all of a sudden. I'm literally at a loss for words. Like, what is going on in the last hour or so? That is crazy. 4% up. I know 4% might not look like that much to y'all, but look at the volume increase all of a sudden. That is really strange if you ask me. That is really peculiar. That sudden shift like that. It's a really severe shift. All right, so let's continue on with the story though. Stock market is doing really bad. Bitcoin, in that sense, is not really doing bad at all right now. Before, almost every single one of these days, when we looked at the stock market and it was doing bad in the 4 hours, let's call it like that, the before hours, you could already see Bitcoin start in the red basically. And then once the stock market opened and it was basically not doing so juicy, Bitcoin literally followed along, except for today. So I wanted to kind of put up a little argument here that I had with my family. Let's just put it like that. Hypothetically speaking, since the stock market is doing so bad because of a lot of things in the market right now, I called it out over on Twitter. Right now, the political tides are definitely not doing so good. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, go look at the news or something like that, or open up a little Google. You'll find a lot of controversy and a lot of political conflicts right now going on in the world, very severe. That might be what's causing the stock market to crash a little bit. Theoretically speaking, that's what Bitcoin was made for. And from that side, I've been thinking today, specifically today, why are we actually witnessing a crash? We're witnessing a crash because, well, a lot of money is being printed. The interest rate was supposed to go back up, which is all bad for the economy. House prices going back down in that sense, and basically less innovation and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. Dollar devaluing, okay? But in almost any way, shape, or form, every single argument that I can give for why Bitcoin would be down right now, except for regulations, is all a bullish part for Bitcoin, honestly. I mean, the stock market going down, in almost every way, shape, or form, we should be seeing that as a blessing. You know, some new, I guess, regulations and stuff coming in. We can also see like a blessing for XRP that is already fighting some regulations, that's on the verge, if you ask me, of winning the case, basically, and getting a nice little spark from that. But man, let's take a look at some articles here. Will crypto recover? Bitcoin price crash explained, and what experts say about the future of crypto. Well, the future of crypto, I think, is solid. We all know it. It's just about the short term, about the intermediary. Right now, we have some very strange political ties and very strange conflicts in the world, which are, I guess, what Bitcoin's made for, as I said before. So it's not really so strange to witness this. It's not really so strange that crypto is so volatile around these times, because people are also finding the true purpose in that sense, which once more is why I think a crash like this is logical, because people are not sure what exactly Bitcoin is. Is it like an asset class you invest in just to make money? Is it real money? Is it like a stock, but then for a digital type of new thing, a digital ownable? It's really funny if you kind of start thinking about it. Some people literally are not seeing Bitcoin as value, as money. They're seeing it as something you can own. I guess I shouldn't say value. They see it as something of value, which is literally that. You buy it because you want to basically store your money in that, thinking that it's going to become worth more, not really thinking about the underlying infrastructure and the underlying idea of what it was meant to be. And that, I think, is what actually correlates to the stock market so much. People are putting their money into something which they think is going to increase in value, or that they can keep their money safe in, and not necessarily for the underlying thing. Because with the stock, what can you really do, right? You can't really use your stock all of a sudden like an NFT, and actually you're like, you know what? I own 1,000 stocks Coca-Cola. Now give me free drinks. It doesn't really work like that. With crypto, however, you're not going to go to a crypto thing and all of a sudden be like, I have rights to something. No. But it's literally, the purpose is not just the holding itself and the underlying, I guess, behind it. With a stock, you have like the company behind it, right? With Bitcoin, you don't really have that. You have a company behind it, sort of, that does things, but you have like the asset itself. Or with the stock, you can't really do too much with the stock itself. You're most likely buying it with the underlying thought that the stock's being used. No, with the Bitcoin, you have the underlying thought of being used in an ecosystem, and you have literal developers behind it and whatnot. But you also have the real thing to use itself. And I think many people are forgetting that, which is obviously why I think the crash is happening, because people forget the thin line between what Bitcoin is being used for now and with what it's going to be used for eventually, and what the purpose of it is. These articles that are talking about whales actively selling, it's actually a logical deduction as well. You know, the lower the price goes, the more people sell, which is also, of course, vice versa, in the sense that a lot of people are actually buying. Here it says, Glassnode, Bitcoin number of addresses holding 100 plus coins just reached a 3-month low of 15.9 thousand. Previous 3 months low of 15.9 thousand was observed on the 22nd of January 2022. So literally yesterday, right? Today's the 24th. Okay, so 2 days ago. Do I see this as a really big deal? So do you see this as bad or anything like that? Not really. I don't really see this as amazing in any way, shape, or form. We went to those levels a couple months ago. We went below those levels a couple months ago. So this literally shows you absolutely nothing except for some fear potentially, or some other metric in that sense. You can't really use this to deduct or deduce where the market is going. Fun fact about XRP, by the way, they overtook Solana with ease as Solana dropped nearly $20 billion, losing half its entire value in 1 week. It's been crazy for Solana, such a negative day. Right now, crypto coming right back down a little bit, as it was just a meteoric rise and pump for some odd reason. Let me actually reiterate that and explain why I think it is pumping right now. To be honest with you guys, I think that is manipulation to the finest. A 4% pump in an hour here is most likely not because of some piece of news, because you'd most likely see one asset pump and not all of them. It is not some regulation. It's not some plan. It's not South Korea coming in to think about CBDCs or so. No, those are things which take time to set into the prices, basically. Right here, the U.S. White House plans to issue an executive order on crypto. This might actually have been what's keeping cryptos afloat to some degree and keeping them at a nice price point, because I honestly would have expected the price to do way worse if this news was taken in badly, so to speak. But they took it in quite nicely. The people were generally speaking quite excited about it. And what I think about the situation is that there really isn't that much of a necessity for the prices to go down. It's just fear stacked on top of price manipulation, which partially is artificial, partially is logical, because they're investing in the same sense they're investing in the stock market. Since the stock market is going down so much and we're going into a little bit of a stranger period with stocks, there's a very logical explanation as well for why people are more fearful to invest. They're more likely to save up and hoard and be in a little mindset of, keep to me what's mine, keep it things that I can touch, not something so speculative as crypto. But I think it's mostly the outer layers of the crypto holders that are getting out, because not really that many of my friends are getting out, unless some of them are trying to flip. But that's, again, just you're trying to make money on something which you know is going to stay for longer times as well. It's just short-term fear, let's put it like that. We know other countries are working on the CBDCs. We know that's going to expand like crazy. We know there's not even rules on crypto just quite yet. And I said before, if they wanted this to be short-term technology, they would have gotten rules in within a freaking snapshot like that. U.S. White House plans to issue an executive order on crypto. The order is expected to be issued in February. Other U.S. federal agencies are also exploring crypto. It's going to happen. It's going to be big. We're not sure exactly if it's going to be good or bad, but it's a little sign for something happening in the future. And I guess it's some spark of hope that it's just going to be a proper, not framework, but thought, I guess, or proper little hint, glimpse of hope, whatever we want to call it. But it being the US, not so sure about it, but it's a step in the right direction. So, long story short, TLDR, right now, crypto is not doing so good. It's actually doing surprisingly well over the last hour, which is, once more, as I just said, pretty surprising. Generally speaking, the crypto market is down because the stock market is down. Today is an odd day, which again reminds us of the fact that crypto should not be going down this much, which is why we're buying this much. There's also some hedging power, I think, against all the other major classes, like dollars not doing so well in that sense. The stock market not doing so well. What exactly do you want to buy? Gold. You might go for that, but I think the majority of people have found out that you can hold gold, but not as a main thing. You can hold gold as another hedge or instrument that you might hold a little bit of money into. I think a lot of people have gold, but they're not having it as their primary investment. I don't think that's the best thing to go for, as it might keep your value. But that's, again, a little advice or something like that for somebody who's already extremely wealthy, who doesn't want to make money, because gold is not the money maker. We all know that. And again, just there's massive expansion coming. XP did really well today, which I think was pretty juicy. XP flipping Solana. Another little fact about XRP, guys. I've seen many people being so pessimistic in the recent past. Guys, if you only could get into my mind for just a little second and understand how bullish I am on this technology, but it's this longer term game. Solana, on the longer term, I think is also going to really fix itself properly. They're so much better than ETH. It's just having a lot of troubles right now. XRP, however, it really hasn't shown too many bad sides except for being sued by the SEC. You can't really name that many negative things about it. Some people say, well, Ripple this, well, Ripple that. Is it really bad, though? It's just a different thing. It's not essentially bad, like going out, like a Solana is, for example. XRP, in my own opinion, is going to be one of the best cryptocurrencies out there, but more importantly, is one of the best cryptos in terms of price potential over the next year or so. I told you guys before what tokens we're watching. I'm watching a lot of different tokens to buy into. I'm going to be honest with you. But. The one token I am holding a very large stake in right now that I think has the highest probability of popping off regardless of whether or not it's a bull or bear market, or regardless of what is happening in the crypto market at the time, regardless of what new announcements come out in terms of regulations, is XRP, because I think they're going to win the lawsuit. It's going to go crazy, and I'm extremely bullish on the idea behind XRP as well, because we shouldn't forget, guys, XRP is not just a lawsuit. Ripple is not just busy with that. No, they're creating one extremely successful company, most likely. It's already, I guess, out there. You guys don't know what I mean. It's going to be crazy. I'm crazy excited for it. And that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I have a very important video on the Ripple lawsuit coming out later today. I already recorded it, but then I saw everything happening. I was like, you know what? I have to make a little update video because this is crazy. And even as of this point, it's like, what is going on with that? Can't explain it to you except for just manipulation, because that's honestly what I think is happening right now. And that's honestly also what's taking money out of your pockets, if you were to ask me.